Hey David, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. What is up, everybody?
Let's see if we can get people in screen here. There you go.
Here we go. How's everybody doing?
Good.
Great. So I guess I'm gonna get straight into this.
No, just one sec, David. Let me intro you first, okay, buddy?
Okay, sounds good.
All right. So David Carpenter, just so you guys know, just to think about the timeline, think about the perspective on this for a second. David was coded in January of January this year.
That sounds good.
While I talk, do you want to just hit mute? Cool. Okay, so David was coded in January of this year. David is already an RGA in the company. He has 30 writing agents. He has 70 more in his pipeline, and they're all personal recruits. So think about that for a second. He's already spoken at 2 of our conferences, one in April and one in August, and he is the 3rd top personal recruiter in all of AIL. So he's going to talk to us a little bit about how he's doing it, how he has rocketed to the top of all of Altig, and how he is going to completely change the game. So David, do you want to let us know what you're doing?
Awesome, Chris. Cool. Well, I appreciate your guys' time. It's an honor to meet your office. You guys are absolutely crushing it out there. So one of the main areas of recruiting that I'm going to talk to today about is using social media. There's a lot of different ways to personally recruit. I've gotten personal recruits from in-person recruiting people. Like I personally recruited someone, one of my Uber drivers, which I recommend doing that because they're self-employed. You have a short amount of time to spend with them, which means you're in a hurry. So it's great to get someone's number and then go. So I'll give you what I used when I personally recruited this guy. His name's Sean Mao, who's an agent. He's doing all right, but either way. So I was riding in the car. I was asking him, my biggest things I ask: family, occupation, recreation, and money. People love to. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. People love to talk about themselves. People are infatuated with themselves. So I figured out, about his family, eventually money. I was like, okay, so you're doing, Uber full time. What were you doing before that? And he was like, oh, I've just done call center stuff. Like I've actually, I worked in insurance. And I was like, man, were you an agent? And he's like, no, I had to work my way up. And I was like, wow, like it's crazy. I don't do this all the time. I don't work for some ABC company. I work for the company, American Income. They do the benefits for the police officers, teachers, veterans. What's crazy is we're actually looking to hire right now, and I can do you a favor and get your number. I'm actually personal friends with the hiring manager there. You're gonna make it exclusive. So I don't do this all the time. I'll do you a favor, and I'll take your number, and we can get you in there. I can't promise you a job. It's up to you how you actually portray yourself, bring a resume. You always want to make it, when you're recruiting, you got to think that you're doing them a favor. If it ever comes across the fact that you are trying to, they need to feel like you're not recruiting them. A lot of the times people sound too pushy, and that's where you lose it. Okay? Just like if you're in the home, if you sound too desperate, then you're going to lose the sale, right? It's the same thing in recruiting. It's almost hand in hand. So I always mention the fact that, I'm going to do them a favor, number one. Number two, I always grab their number. Don't leave a business card. Everyone leaves business cards. How many business cards do you guys get? You just toss them. As soon as I get them, I'm like, all right, great, thanks. And then you want to mention the fact, I love saying we do the benefits for the police officers, teachers, veterans. Can't promise you anything. I can get you set up with an interview just because I know the hiring manager very well. They're looking to expand, could be a great career fit for you. So I gotta go right now because we're in a hurry. You're gonna do that. So for instance, Uber, I have to go right now. If you're in the store, I have to go right now. I have an appointment to be at. But I'll do you a favor. I'll send you a text later and we can get something set up for you. So that would be more of the in-home approach that I would do. And I've done that my favorite part, I know Chris is probably like, don't say this, but you know, when you go out to the bars, if you ever do with your friends, okay, don't recommend doing that all the time, but if you do, that's a perfect way to do it too. Like right before you're heading out, build some relationships with some people and then drop that. Especially if you know that they hate what they're doing. A lot of people are looking for legitimate opportunities. There's a lot of BS out there. That's why you have to become a professional at this. And then just know that repetition is the father of all learning. A lot of people are too scared to try something, and then you get lazy after you fail at something, right? Meaning, once you fail once, the average person is gonna not really try it anymore. And that's what really separated me from everybody else, because I'm not afraid to fail a couple times, because I know if I recruit someone in person 100 times, I might suck after those 100 times, but if it's the 101st time that I get it, then that point forward, I'm gonna be rich. So, and this is another thing for you too, is when you're feeling that fear of not, you know, damn, should I try to talk to this person? That's how you know you need to talk to them. A lot of my top guys, I was really nervous before, and something told me to just do it, and I didn't think about it, I just did it, and you know, that was big. Next part I'm going to talk about today is on social media and how to post and how to brand yourself. So you want to come off as a person of influence. The reason why you want to come off as a person of influence is because people follow people with influence. That's all leadership is. So that's how I kind of built my brand on social media. And if you guys aren't following me, follow me. And then also follow people like Grant Cardone, Tony Robbins. You know, follow some of these people that you idolize maybe on social media and study how they post, the psychology behind what they're doing. So when I post, I always post often. The 3 social medias I personally use for recruiting that I found work very, very well. Number 1, Facebook. So I'll touch on Facebook and how to kind of utilize that the best. Number 1, you can add people in colleges near you that are going to business school. Do you guys know that? You can literally add people in your area that are going to business, and you can you can follow them and you can message them, start a conversation. You can even say this. So I sent this to someone, let me pull this up. I'm trying to think what it was. Okay, either way, I'll kind of just guesstimate what I said, but basically when I'm adding someone in business, you can say, compliment them first, make them feel really, really good about themselves. That's number 1. So if I saw someone's page I really like, this guy goes to, you know, school of business, WP Carey, I'm adding everybody from that same school, I can literally message them and say, hey, you know, really liked your page, I noticed that you're studying business. We work for, you know, Forbes Global 2000 company. We do the benefits for the firemen, the teachers, the police. We're actually looking for young, motivated people that are about to graduate or just graduated from ASU specifically because of that business school. And I came across your page. I know that our hiring manager is actually hiring right now. I feel like you can do amazing at it. And you wait for them to respond. From there, okay, I can send you an email and some details, but our office is located here, and you want to option close it from there. So once you get to that point, you're going to have some people that don't respond, right? But you're also going to have some people that are going to bite. Some people want to know more information. Anytime someone messaged me about something like that, I've always wanted to know more about it. And that's all you need, right? So from there, you can say, hey, well, our office is actually located here. And as of right now, we're doing interviews at this time or this time. Which one works better? And if they're a really sharp recruit, what I would do is I would go with my MGA and even meet with them in person. Whatever I could do to get them to eventually get in group, I would do. So if I had to meet someone up, to go out to eat first, if they're like, hey, I don't want to go to an interview, I just want to talk and figure this out, then do it. Don't try to explain everything, but just explain the fact that there's a script, they have leads, amazing opportunity, unlimited income, and also residual income is the things you want to hit on, and then get them in the group. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, one quick question, David. You mentioned that you could easily on Facebook just sort of target and look at people that are going to business school at your university. How do you do that?
So I use the app. It's the little three little icons over here. And you can go to, I'm trying to see where it is on here. Hide it down. Someone wants to mess with it too. Let's see. Don't put me on the spot. There's for instance, okay, there's nearby places, and you can search. Let's see. I can get it. Okay, once I'm done, because I'm not sure how to do it on Facebook really, but I know you can do it because I actually helped someone do it. But that was the top.
Yeah, when you showed me how to do it, you showed me how to do it on the laptop, and there's more options on the laptop than there is on the app.
Yeah. So what I can do is I'll text him or screenshot him exactly how to do it right after this. And the point is, you can basically search everybody that's going to a specific college and with a specific degree too. If it's listed like, WP School of Business, that's like ASU for us. And I've done this before, so this is just, a little nerve-wracking. I'm talking to all you guys. I'm just over here, 23 years old. This is a little crazy. So I'm gonna screenshot it and then give you guys an outline on how to do that. You guys want that?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, awesome. So, yeah, that's what I would do. And then, especially if you don't know them, if you just compliment them, you're like, hey, man, you're absolutely crushing it. You can ask them what you're doing right now, and then you can go back to the fact that, global, Forbes Global 2000 company. I love dropping that, and I love dropping the fact that we do the benefits for the firemen, teachers, police officers, because it's just interesting. And the fact that, just right out of college, people are making phenomenal incomes, and there's great mentorship. I'd love to send you some more information. We can link up. Just go at it like that, very professional, very, genuine, and it's not really doesn't sound too copy and, paste. What you don't want to do is spam them and sound like everybody else. We've all gotten recruited with these long messages, and it's like, talking about six-figure incomes and that. You don't ever want to talk about incomes when you're recruiting someone. You just want to compliment them and let them know that you're working with a great company who's hiring. That's really it, because that's going to spark someone's interest more than, hey, I noticed you're an insurance agent. Our company's hiring for $100,000. Like, you don't want to sound like all those other guys. Okay? So that's what I do. And also on Facebook, you want to brand yourself. So you want to have pictures of lifestyle. So if you and your buddies are going, maybe out to eat, have the waitress take a picture and be like, masterminding with my team. Right there, I'm like, masterminding about what? So if you post stuff enough, I'm gonna eventually ask you. And most of the time, this is what happens. People try something once and they give up on it. If you're gonna treat this serious, you gotta be consistent with it, okay? Consistently building your brand. It took me probably a month or two after posting pictures in the office, posting pictures, by the pool maybe, like working or, doing fun stuff like that you guys do, some office pictures, just stuff and like post that you're excited about, like do motivational quotes on something, the trainings that you guys have. If you take a piece of information that can help better someone's life, post that. Because people eventually people are gonna message you and be like, man, you're really inspiring, you're really helping me out. Like, what are you doing? The whole point is you wanna make your life seem so great that people have to ask you what you're doing. That's where you wanna get to. Okay, and it starts, and this is the best part. People are like, well, I'm not making it yet. That's where you want to start, because if you only start when you're making it, people can't relate. But if you go back to my posts, I have a journey, and most of the stuff is like, hey, dude, I've been watching your posts, and you've been absolutely blowing up. So then that's when you start really getting into it, but you have to start it now so people can actually relate when you get bigger. So again, You want to do lifestyle stuff. You want to also have a balance, like maybe photos with your family, just showing and then giving people as much value on Facebook as possible. Posts on not just business, but relationship, life in general. You want to come off as an advisor, someone who knows what they're talking about and someone who knows where they're going. I love posting pictures with my friends too and saying, you know, never been more focused in my life, more driven, more certain about, you know, my situation. And people vibe off of that. People love that stuff. It's contagious. So I encourage you guys to follow me. Again, write that down. Follow me, and then also follow people that you look up to and watch how they brand themselves. You need to start branding yourself. I know it's uncomfortable. I know it's a little weird. Yes. Someone raised their hand.
Oh, you did see that. Okay. What is your social media?
Okay, my social media. So on Insta, I use Instagram, Snapchat, and then also Facebook. Obviously, Facebook, it's David Carpenter. Now I have like a media guy because I'm really trying to hit this thing hard. And that video I posted, Chris, I got like 10 messages from that, which is crazy. And I have like 4 coming into group this week just because of that video. But I mean, just start, like I've had over probably 30, 40 messages just branding myself like that. So okay, David Carpenter on Facebook. On Instagram it's David Carpenter _AO. And then Snapchat is D Carpenter. So let's go to Instagram. You can actually do the same thing on Instagram. Let me see if I can. I'm gonna send you all this stuff too, Chris, on how to do this. Post of you. Blah, blah, blah. You can mess around. I'm sure you guys can figure this out too. I'm gonna get back to you on it just because I don't want to take forever on all 3 of those. I'll have that to you in about an hour. I just have to mess around with it, but it's the same thing. You can go to hashtags, like hashtag business. So say you post a business, and it's the same thing on on Instagram. So most of mine, I pick 3 things. So I have a balance of 3 things. Number 1, lifestyle. Number 2, business. And number 3, fitness. You want to have a hobby, a lifestyle that people love, that is inspiring, that, you know, it's like crazy. A lot of us have, you know, do some fun trips or go up to like, out here we have some fun things we can go do. It's like Flagstaff or like, you know, snowboarding or anything you do fun. Just, you don't have to post it on Instagram, but use your stories. And that's kind of what I'm going on to. So your Instagram stories, for instance, like I have some, like I went out to dinner with my friends. I was like, happy birthday, Tyler. So I have like more just me being a normal person, because you don't want to just be all business, right? And then it's me always growing, like listening to personal development on my story right here in my car. I was doing that even when I was in an Acura. Now I have a Benz, but even in the Acura, it's the fact that, you know, you're doing something different. People want to know what you're doing. And then I have one in the office, you know? So I always try to find a balance anytime I work out, because that's my hobby, is working out and playing basketball. I'll post that too. People need to understand that you're normal and that they can relate, but you're also killing it. You're a beast, right? So my Instagram stories are always going. I'll always post a couple times a day, if anything. You can never post too much on your stories. On Instagram, it could be a little too much, but on your stories like Snapchat, Instagram, you know, you can't really post enough. You can post like for days. Like, you should have seen my Tahoe experience. Like, people were like, holy crap, bro. Like, what are you doing? I don't know, I'm glad you asked. So on Instagram or Facebook, you can post like 1 a day. That's probably the best to do it. I like to post like when people are like just getting off of work, or yeah, like that 4 or 5 o'clock is like a really good time to post too. You're gonna get the most engagement at that time. Okay, and then just going back to Instagram before I go to Snapchat. So Instagram, you can hashtag, right? So you want to hashtag not just AO, you don't want to mention AIL, okay? You want to have them asking you questions. So don't mention anything about recruiting, don't do mass text, don't do anything where, you know, you sound like everybody else who's trying to recruit you and all these BS deals. You have something exclusive where people can actually get rich. I know you guys know that. So on here, I'll just like hashtag business, hashtag entrepreneur. You know, you can do hashtag whatever you're doing, just stuff that you can even Google this too. I encourage you guys to Google the best hashtags. And you can have it, and so you post your picture, you post your caption, you're bringing them value, and then you do under a comment, then you post the hashtags, okay? Having to do with what categories you want to attract people in. You start funneling them in from there. Does that make sense? And you can literally click hashtag business and go follow people that are in businesses, right? Or that are interested in business. And there's a place on here too where you can add people in your local area. So I'll send that to you too. I walked Tina through that, Tina Genti, but there's so many people on this. What's the first thing you normally do when you wake up? You probably check your phone. Most people's grandmothers have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. So we're the most connected age, and you can reach billions of people at one time if you utilize this. And all my hires, and I've never missed a code, I do like 4 or 5 codes a month, and it's all from not only me doing it, but getting your team involved in doing it too. So this would be a cool thing too, is maybe hold each other accountable. Like, hey man, have you been active on your stories? Or if you're a leader, you're an SA, have your guys, like when you're in the field, like, hey, killing it, we're about to crush today, tip of the day, go out there and follow your dreams. Go out there and crush it. Go out there, and even though you don't want to do something, you make yourself do it. How do you feel? Just little stuff like that on your stories. That's going to attract a lot of attention. That's going to attract a lot of questions. And from there, you want to make it exclusive, get them into the office, option close it. You always want to be in control, just like in the home. It's exactly the same way in recruiting, okay? So to recap, Facebook, photos, lifestyle, having a balance. You don't want to just sound like a freaking recruiting robot. That's one thing I've learned too. Add people in your local area. Colleges are great. People fresh out of college looking for careers that are still like don't have a lot of bills. That's like most of my team, and they're hungry. And that's really where I was coming from too. Instagram. You want to have that Instagram story going, and it starts to pick up volume if you're constantly posting, because people are going to look out for your story. And I guarantee you, it takes some people like 10 times to message you. Not everyone's going to message you right away, but that's okay. If it takes like a stud 5 months to see you crushing it, then dude, you just got a stud in MGA in your business after 5 months. Now you're an RGA, right? Yes.
Hey, it's me.
Good to see you again.
Nice to see you too. I just started my Instagram after we had a chat about things, and I started to add in YYC is for Calgary, for instance, or I put Calgary as the hashtags for Instagram, and my phone has just been blowing up with people like following different things and liking different things that I'm able to go and look and find out exactly what they're doing too. But I use the area that I'm in. So even when I was traveling and I did Salt Lake City, Lake Tahoe, Reno, all the different areas as that hashtag aside from everything else, just the area that I was in, all of a sudden I'm finding the best of the best people that are in those areas. And it's a really good way to go and engage with people in the area that you're in and try and personally recruit them as well. So
yeah,
I don't know if that's something that you do, but that's something that I've noticed a trend in, is just the area that I'm in and trying to engage people in that area and find out who is in my area and who's the best of the best out there, and you can see all of their stuff as well as they can see yours.
That's really good too. That's really good. And if you want to create someone's attention, go like 3 photos on Instagram and then message them. You can do the same approach. If you're like have business and lifestyle and stuff, you can message people and say, you can even say I'm the hiring manager, and I'm really impressed with your page. I don't know what you're currently doing, but our office is hiring. We're Global Forbes 2000 company. We would deal with benefits to firemen, teachers, police officers. I'd love to meet up with you and see if this is the right fit, which I feel like this could be. You can do that on all the social medias. That's the direct approach. With your friends, I use an indirect approach. So this would be if you're talking to your warm market. So yeah, as you know, man, I have a new career going. And what they've asked us to do, since we're trying to open up a new office in, say whatever location for us, like could be like Phoenix. I know it's probably not for you, but they're looking for like young, motivated, hungry people that are looking to make, 50, 60, 70,000 their first year, and get great mentorship. I was just wondering if you knew anyone, or if you had any friends. I told the hiring manager I'd do him a favor and to reach out, and I know that you're sharp, so I know that, you have some sharp friends. It's probably not for you, but yeah, so, who do you think would be a good fit? Oh, dude, what do you mean? Like, why didn't you ask me about it? Oh, dude, I know that you're busy, you have your stuff going, so I wasn't trying to bug you. But who do you know that's motivated, that's hardworking, that wants to make 50, 60,000? You don't want to shout out big numbers. I'm trying to be realistic and make people feel like you're actually genuinely trying to help them. And that's where you actually win. This is all trial and error. The reason why I'm good at this stuff is because I've done it so much. Like the failing stuff when people give up, that's real. So you guys like that, the indirect approach?
Yes.
Use that, and it's actually genuine, because it's not like, oh, I'm not even trying to recruit you. That's my favorite thing, is when literally the last 20 people I've hired have came up to me because they're like begging me, and they see the lifestyle, and when someone messages you, like, it doesn't even matter. You could be like, yeah, I'm digging ditches for 200 grand a year. Are you down? And they'll be like, yeah, let's go. So if you paint that lifestyle enough where they're like, dude, I don't care what you're doing, I'm in. So that's where it's getting to the point. But yeah, that's how I kind of recruit my warm market, is an indirect approach. I really like that too. Because it's, kind of uncomfortable doing a direct approach with your friends. So it's not as bad when it's an indirect approach with your friends. So if it's a waiter, waitress, this is good too. You guys should write this down. I'll be talking to them, complimenting them the whole time, and then paying the bill. And then it's like, hey, I noticed that you've been working here for a while. So this is how I would do it. I asked them, do you keep your career options open if the money's right? And that's after I talked with them, built up some rapport, complimented them a lot of times. You always want to compliment people because it just makes them feel super good. So, hey, I was super impressed. I just wanted to know if you keep your career options open if the money's right. Well, what do? Well, I'm in the financial services. We work in a niche market. In respect to your current employer, I'm not going to get into it right now. But let me grab your number, and I'll have my hiring manager, or I'll have my assistant, or I'll have the office go ahead and set up, an interview to give you some more information. Because you're way too sharp, Julie, to be working here. So I'll do you a favor. I feel like you can absolutely crush it. You guys like that? Hired a girl the other day from the bar. Most of my recruits are from, it was a bar, and it was funny. You can use this too. If you're ever with Chris or something, you can be like, hey, that's my regional manager. He was really impressed with you. Do you keep your options open? Because you would crush in what we do. We're in the financial services. We work in a niche market with the unions. In respect to your current employer, I'm not going to go into it, but let me get your number. I'll give you more information on it later. Oh, thank you so much. See how it doesn't sound sleazy and salesy and oh my God, this guy's a headhunter for an MLM. Blah, blah, blah. So you want to be as professional with it as possible. And I love putting in other people. Yes.
Do you deal with any backlash that they say to you? Hey, I gotta look into the company and I don't really know, or just what type of rebuttals do you get when you're trying to personally recruit?
I don't really even get them because I don't give them enough information.
Good.
The less is better. Less is more always. So I don't get into the company and this and that. If they do ask, I'd be like, AIL. Yeah, I work for AIL. We do the benefits for the police officers, teachers, veterans. Most of the time, they're not gonna even care enough if you go about it, and just know that communication is 90% non-verbal. So, and that'll come with repetition, being confident in what you're saying. And the better the more you do it, the better you're gonna get at it, obviously. So wrapping it up with social media, Snapchat's the same way. It's all lifestyle stuff, motivational. I love to do talks and also balance. So tips on fitness, tips on, being a good father, tips on being a good friend, tips on relationships, and tips on work. Because people are going to be like, dude, the whole point is you want to literally make them ask you what you're doing in that type of area. And then in-person stuff, always do the direct approach. Friends, family, it's an indirect approach. Does that make sense? And then add people in your area, follow those hashtags, add people. I like to do the three photos, especially if they're business, 3 really impressive ones,